Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Zelkenon, and welcome to another Smite Super Builds. As you can see, I do have Kuang Legendary. I had him Legendary for quite a while, but that's not the point. The point is, somebody mentioned, our Kuang build, can you do that? Well, I told him, I already have one. I linked him the video, and it's still up to date. Although the icons have changed a little bit, so maybe a little confusing for maybe some of the new people of Smite. So I might as well go ahead and go ahead and refresh the build and whatnot. I already have the stacks for Book of Thoth. So moving on. So Book of Thoth, yes, it is. The price has been reduced by about 400 gold. So this is really great, especially in Arena. You can get the second tier of Book of Thoth really quickly. I typically get the full Book of Thoth in about 1 minute and 40 seconds ish. And then you go ahead and buy the third tier book of starting your stacks. But before we get into all that, actives I kind of wait for last. Being a very experienced Kuang player, I don't really need actives too much unless if I'm being really focused. And if you're being really focused, you may want to get purification beads, maybe ages if you're fighting Loki and whatnot. But Girdle of Inner Power, I get this late game. I pop this right before I ulti somebody just to hit him incredibly hard, which has worked many times before. I've hit people for like 2,000 and just one-shot people with Kuang's ulti. It's really overpowered. And purification means, but generally I don't get actives. If I do, it's inner power just for overall more power output. But you may feel like you need other things. So I get Book of Thoth first. Many people have said that I feel way too slow when I start with this. And this is more of a personal preference thing. The reason why I get Book of Thoth first is to go ahead and get the stacks early as possible. Just finish all the stacks. I typically finish it in between 7 to 8 minutes. But if you're a newcomer to Kuang and Book of Thoth and stack building on that, it may take you from 8 to 10 minutes ish, which that's what I used to do when I first started using Book of Thoth and getting used to this. But after a while, you get better at collecting stacks and whatnot. This build can work in multiple modes, like I use it for 3v3s. 1v1, you may want to alter on who you're fighting against a little bit. Domination, if that's ever a match of the day, again, it works all the time. Conquest mid lane, not so much. Conquest mid lane, I would get Vampiric Shroud as your first item. Go the more traditional route. Vampiric Shroud, go on to Boots, and then go on probably to Polynomicon as my third item, and so on and so forth. I may not get Book of Thoth. I'd only get Book of Thoth in Conquest if we're winning by a lot, and it's pretty easy for me to get stacks. But in that case, I'll kind of stray away from getting that. But besides the fact, Book of Thoth, Shoes of Focus. Reason why I don't get the other Shoes of Magi is because I have plenty of penetration with Spear Magus. Shoes of Focus, I need the cooldown reduction because there's so many times where you need to clear a lane and then you need to go help team fight in the side jungle and arena or whatever. Having the extra cooldown reduction, it lets you transition much more smoothly from dropping your NATO and the minions in the middle, and then you could quickly go help your teammates on the side and your cooldowns will be up and you can drop another tornado on a team fight. And that's I guess that's how you can get more damage output. It's kind of, it just flows more naturally when you have that extra cooldown reduction is what I'm trying to say. Moving on, and it's also nice to have all these mana items due to his passive. If you're not familiar with his passive, increase magical power by 5% of maximum mana. So that's a little tip if you don't know that. So Polynomicon, third item, I get this early for extra damage for the early mid game. Also more mana. Life steal is really nice to have because you get a lot of use of that life steal, mainly due to tornado. You get life steal off minions, people, and whatnot, so it keeps you a little bit more sustained. It's not a whole lot of life steal, but it helps. But I mainly get it for the passive. I love the combo my one, the Squall. You land your Squall on somebody and then follow up with a basic attack. Your next basic attack will hit really hard with Polynomicon, and additional to your normal basic attack. And that two combo, if you're fed somewhat, you should be able to kill most people with the Squall to Polynom. You may need one more basic attack after that, and you should kill somebody. Works out really great. Sometimes when I chase down somebody, I'll just pop my 2, and if they're really low, I just throw my basic attack, and that would kill them. So that just Polynomicon on Kuang is just really vicious. So Spirit Magus, what I mentioned before, it's all the penetration that I personally need. If you feel like you need more, you're fighting more tank items, then go, the Shoots of Magi. Totally up to you. But Spirit Magus, plus 40 power, 15 flat penetration, but the passive's really cool. It's really easy to get stacks with Kuang since we have a tornado and whatnot. It just does damage over time and then more penetration on them. So magical protection reduced by 10 and initial 10% for 5 seconds, maximum of 2 stacks. So I believe that would be, what, 20? And another 20% on top of your 15 magical penetration. Overall, that's plenty of penetration to take down mostly anybody. Rod of Tahuti, obvious reasons. If you look at my mage builds, I tend to get Rod of Tahuti as my 5th item. That's typically for arena purposes since the matches end earlier. Unless if you're fed, you can probably get it as your last item. But I like to get it, near end game. Always want to have Rod of Tahuti when I play arena, so that's why I get it as my 5th item. And then finally, Gem of Isolation. The last item is really up to you. I personally get Gem of Isolation because of the mana and magical power aspect, and the passive works really, really well with your tornado. So if they get caught in your tornado, they're going to be slowed. It's going to be easy for you to use your 2, kind of wiggle your way up there, drop your squall on them, and then basic attack, and they should be dead. With this build alone, Tornado typically takes people down to half of HP, and then I normally follow up with a squall and basic attack, and that's guaranteed death. Sometimes even just a simple Tornado and squall, they're dead. So I love this build. It's been working for months and months now. So let's go ahead and test it out. As you see, we have 824 magical power. That is with the full stacks given. So this is just Tornado Ticks. Polynom, as I saw, I hit it for 700 on top of your basic 234. That's just on minions. So I'm not going to get red buff just yet. I'm going to go ahead and test it on raw for you guys so you can see a little bit more accurate representation of the damage output. Since jungle mobs are obviously not close to gods. Alright. Wiggle our way up here. Drop our Tornado. It's taken 170, 174. Basic attack 700 on top of the 234. There you go. So simple as that. That 2-hit combo right there, that pretty much destroys anybody. Except tanks. Takes a little bit. So next I do a Squall. As you saw, that's exactly what I was talking about. The Squall and basic attack combo is just really devastating. If you really could, you could just go basic attack all out. Of course, that requires a little bit of hand-eye coordination. I know some people have bad times trying to land that. So after this, I'll be landing my ulti, and you can see how much the ulti does. It'll do a ridiculous amount. 1500, basic attack, he's dead. That pretty much sums it up for there. I'll just... Why did I buy the defense potion? That is... yeah, I don't know why I did that. Okay. Alright, now we got both our potions popped. We're sitting at 1035 magical power. That's an incredible amount. Let's go with Tornado. It's just for fun. 205, 888 Polynom. Red buff, 1171 magical power. And then we're going to go ahead and wiggle our way over here. And then for the finale, we're going to use all our buffs. I'm even going to pop Girdle and then drop my ulti on poor Robot's face, and you'll see the results. This will be more so, I forgot what the game mode's called, where you get a crap load of gold in arena. Is it Cup Run Over? That could be it. I think that's it. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and pop Girdle. Sitting at about 1300 magical power. 2098. There we go. That's simple as that. So that's going to wrap it up for the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.